Welcome to Cut the Crop, keeping you in the know about everything you grow. Researchers, growers and other interesting folk delivering insights and information on topics ranging from agronomy to profitability. Brought to you by the Foundation for Arable Research.
Hello and welcome to Cut the Crop. I'm Anna Heslop and today my guest is Steve Sim. Steve's a mid-Canterbury farmer and he's a member of a Growers Leading Change Arable Growth Group that's interested in getting the most out of biologicals and injectables on arable farms. So welcome, Steve. Tell us a little bit about you and your farm, and then we'll move on to what your Arable Growth Group's interested in.
Oh, well, thanks for having me, Anna. My wife and Sally and I run a mixed cropping operation near Methven. We've got about 310 hectares, and we grow mainly small seeds, 30% of the rotation in cereals. We'd have a large portion in pulses, radish, processed peas, lentils, and 10 or 15% of our rotation will be in cereals. So yeah, spring cereals.
So a pretty diverse mix.
Yes, yep.
Now, you're a member of this Arable Growth Group that's interested in, I guess, new alternative ways of managing weeds and pests and diseases and everything that come with them. Tell us a little bit about how that group was formed and your particular interests of why you got involved.
Me personally, I was involved with a RMPP or a Red Meat Profit Partnership group prior to the Growers Leading Change system coming on board. And yeah, so we'd seen a couple of groups amalgamate through that, and then it sort of morphed into the Growers Leading Change group, and all those groups has kind of been centred around, for me, around the regenerative ag piece. It's just good to get together with other guys that were thinking about it. Yeah. So
what's your definition of regen ag? Because there are 100 out there.
Well, that's a good question. I find regenerative ag quite a polarising topic, and I suppose for us, regen is doing what we can within the limits of our banking obligations. So direct drilling, carefully managing our fertiliser regime, trying to include biologicals into the system, that type of stuff's what we're trying to do, cover crops. Yep.
So, and that would be a common focus for all of your group members?
Yep. Most of us are sort of trying different bits of those things, and yeah, I don't know, within a crop system we're paid on purity and germ, and you can't really do too much. It's actually quite a restrictive thing, like these multi-species regenerative cover crops that people are growing. You have to be a bit careful with your subsequent crops and have a plan in place with your herbicide program after growing them, so that you don't compromise your subsequent cash crop.
So what's actually driving this interest in direct drill, biologicals and everything else?
Yeah, I suppose it's the environmental piece. It's the pressure that everyone has on them. For Sally and I, it's a focus on our big ticket costs, fertiliser, weed and pest, those ones that if we can find ways of squeaking those down to try and leave a bit more profit on the table, it's important for us. So yeah, that's probably where that direction's been. Yep.
So for your group, you've been running about 12 months now?
Yep.
What have you been up to?
Well, it sort of probably took us 3 months to figure out what we were actually trying to do, or what the key focus of the group was. But yeah, we've just everyone's drilled a trial just recently into an autumn cereal where we have untreated and then treated with trichoderma, and then the rest of the paddock's left in just whatever the farmer would normally do as standard management for them. And so we'll all be mapping that with our combines, and I'm assured that if we get 7 or 8 different people doing that, that'll give us statistically valid results, and it is as good as an independent trial all in one spot. So that's what we're doing at the moment. But there's a lot of other stuff, sort of anecdotal type hearsay stuff that we're working on and trying to figure out if there's anything in some of these ideas yet.
So I know, because I've been to one or two of your meetings, that a lot of them seem to involve members leaning on and looking very excited and interested about different bits of machinery. So a lot of it is sharing ideas amongst yourselves.
Yep, that's important. The machinery thing is, that's part of the arable farming picture. Certainly, with the profitability where it is at the moment, there's more focus within the group on trying to get some efficiencies out of some of these ideas and seeing if we can, get some more profitability back in it that way. Yeah, yep.
And so what about the biologicals? Where did that interest come from?
The interest in the biologicals probably came from overseas, and there's guys within the group that have got long-standing experience with biologicals, and so we're just trying to learn from those people's experiences and see if we can steer our operations towards a bit more sustainability. The freshwater rules and the greenhouse gases, the whole lot, everything's sort of bearing down on people at the moment, and so that biologicals is kind of a relatively easy, cheap way of maybe getting a bit more sustainability back in what we're doing.
And the liquid injection, that's new.
It sure is. There's maybe 4 guys within our group of 10 or 11 that have liquid kits on their drills, and the rest of us are trying sort of different seed coatings and different biological products and different fertilisers and things in solid form. But yeah, it's quite new, but it does give you the flexibility to put down the mix that you want to put down and to trial different things in certain areas of your paddock quite easily.
So where does this information about biologicals and injectables and how to do it, where is that coming from?
That's a good question. There's not really anywhere that information's available. This is sort of just something that we're blundering our way through and trying to make the best of within the group, and everyone's trying to learn from what other people have done and build on previous experience that way. We have rung in a few overseas experts that have got some experience in different pieces or different parts of the problems that we face, but no, there's certainly no blueprint for it at the moment.
So that's kind of what the group's all about?
Yep. Sharing ideas and working forward, we can make some progress that way, yeah.
So you said that 3 or 4 of the group members do have liquid injection systems set up already, and the rest of you are interested in learning or thinking about it. So what sorts of things would you be thinking about if you were looking at modifying an existing drill for liquid injection?
Cost and practicality, I think, are the main 2 factors. You can get brand new drills with liquid kits all fitted, and they're very good, but the majority of us already have our gear, and we have to work within the boundaries of what we have. Like ease of putting the gear, the nose tank or whatever on the tractor and taking it off. Mixing, continual agitation. It seems to be a bit of an art form to actually get the application rate right while avoiding blockages within the system. So, trying to keep that back pressure right and managing that is quite tricky. But yeah, and there's also some fertiliser products which people are using which really need heaps of agitation as you go across the paddock.
You don't want to get to the end of the run and find that you've got all the products still sitting in the tank and you've been spraying water everywhere.
No, that's right. Yeah. And flushing it at the end seems to be important too. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go back to that trichoderma trial that you've been talking about. Tell us about trichoderma. What is it for a start?
I'm a farmer, not a scientist, Anna, but I think that trichoderma is a soil-borne fungi that occurs naturally and seems to have some benefits around pest and disease. Seems to fight off pest and disease a bit better if it has a presence in the soil, and sometimes there's a greater plant growth response from having it there in larger numbers.
And so again, as part of your growth group, that was something that you got together, talked about, and decided as a group you would all run this trial. As you mentioned before, it's across farms, so your replicates as such aren't within the same paddock. They're across several farms.
Yes, yep. We do have, we have 2 trial strips within each paddock on each farm. So there's I suppose there's a replication there. But no, the replication, the main concept is that it's across different farms and different areas, yeah.
So you're looking at autumn cereal crops, I think.
Yes, yep. Well, everyone has them, so it was kind of like ground zero. Everyone sort of got autumn cereal, so that was the logical place to start to try and get some uniformity in the trial program.
And then you'll have some treated and untreated strips. What comes, what are you looking for in results, and how will you know what's been going on?
So mapping that with the combine is important. Pushing the button at the start of the trial and remembering to push the button when you've got your phone ringing and you're unloading into trailers. But that's how we're going to work it, just through the combine yield mapping and working the numbers through that way.
Okay, cool. So that's the technical and the on-farm trial stuff. What else is there about being part of an AGG group that you find interesting and beneficial?
I guess it's just been refreshing. Sometimes it's nice to get amongst a group of guys that are thinking along the same lines. We all have the same pressure on us, and there's a social side of it, but also it just gives you confidence to be able to have a go at some of the stuff that you'd probably consider to be a bit out there, unless one of your farming peers had actually done a bit prior to you and had some experience with it. So it's a bit of a confidence building and quite fun too. So.
A bit of a support network. So
Yep, definitely. Yep.
Okay, thanks very much, Steve. I'm constantly excited by what these arable growth groups are achieving or trying. The whole range of different ideas that the groups up and down the country are addressing is fantastic. So good luck with the biologicals and injectables, and listeners, have a great day on the farm.
Thanks for tuning in to Cut the Crop, presented to you by FAR. If you'd like to know more about any of the topics discussed or have any suggestions for future topics, go to www.cutthecrop.co.nz.